What's good, everyone? Welcome to another reading. This one's going to be about a secret message. So, no introduction needed for this. I'm going to be using my thick pen today. So, prepare yourself. Pile 1, Pile 2, and Pile 3. A secret message from you, obviously from Spirit. And I'll get stuck into pile number 1s. Pile 1s, hope you're doing good. I'm really not sure about the vibe of this reading today, but what do you see? What do you feel? What do you hear? I've got some sparkling water, so you might actually be hearing some bubbles. Not sure if it's picking up. Put it closer to the mic. Nah, it doesn't want to spark. Can you hear that? Okay, anyways, part 1's, there was an absolute kind of gentleness with this reading, which is interesting. It reminds me of I don't know what they're called, but you know when you take a photo and sometimes you capture those little light orbs. I think they're called like light orbs. That was absolutely the vibration of this message. So the secret message there for you is I don't really know actually how that's going to link with your life, pile number 1s, but there was something, like I said, really gentle, really delicate with this reading, in the same sense quite precise, you know, like when I was drawing these orbs, I guess they almost aligned to the stars, you know, because it's like, you know, if that was the sun, then Mercury had to be next, closest to the sun, you know. There is an order to it, although it seemed abstract. Spirit was kind of almost giving me precise locations for these orbs to sit. So I don't know, possibly pile number 1s as well, this might be a message for you to reflect on the fact of just like how each one of those light orbs in that photo are precisely there for a reason. It's that analogy of us being in this matrix, if you will, that it's reflected from that light orb, which is so small, then to the stars, then to the universe, then to the, I don't know, multiverse or whatever the next level would be to that. There's kind of a reminder there, and that might be the secret that Spirit is letting you know. And kind of Spirit was just giving me now that, remember, the same is with you. So I think Spirit is almost teasing here at the fact of there's other versions of you out there, which is getting really sci-fi on us, but that's what's coming through. So yeah, kind of a gentle reminder there that there's other versions of you out there. I'm not sure what information that gives you, pile number ones, like what benefit that is to you knowing that. That's where this reading has kind of lost me a little bit, but I guess maybe just the knowing, that kind of that saying the truth will set you free, you know. Maybe it's the knowing which is setting you free. So pile number one's quite a quick reading today. Remember to kind of sit on the energy, see if you get anything more from it. But for now, I'll leave you to it. Please do remember to like, comment and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Okay, pile number twos. Let's see what we've got for you. Okay, we're going to work with that. What do you see? What do you feel? Pile number twos. What do you see? What do you feel? Okay, now if I had my way, I would have maybe made that circle a bit more central to that, whatever you see this to be. The thing that was coming through here with that circle, there was a word that came through, and that was focus. So that circle was emphasizing focus. So pile number twos, your secret could be to do with something to do with, I'm seeing writing here, but I'm not sure how many readings of mine you've seen, pile number twos, but I think that's one of the most focused I've had to be to draw something that is not even what seems to be not very detailed. There was an extreme amount of focus in that, and all I can say is that it's almost like if this was magnified, although this seems like a blotch, there's some like real key knowledge in here somehow, which is if you was to zoom in, you know, I don't think I've ever done this in a reading, but you know, to zoom in, I'm not sure if the video is going to capture that, but when you zoom into it, there's code. I've done this before actually with a reading. It's probably not going to have the same effect today, but when you put the glass over, you get different effects. In fact, just this, I'm getting something quite interesting, even if it's just aesthetically, artistically, with this edge of that rim. There's something quite nice there when it hits that circle, Something quite nice about that. That edge within an edge. Again, I might have lost some of you out there, but something quite nice about that. So, look, let me simplify this because I know that I'm getting a little bit I don't even know the word, Aquarius on you. It's not even, sometimes when you're doing this channeling, it's not even like creative energy, it's like, it's just kind of like a higher vibrational perspective, which you're constantly having to tame because it's of a different language to what we function with on this earthly plane, It reminds me a little bit of like in Christianity when someone's speaking tongues. It's like if you believe in that, it's coming from a different vibration. That's why it's going to seem mad to someone and then seem like God's word for someone else. So it's funny. We've got the dog barking there, which for me is just giving me multiple confirmations. But it's super interesting how in one religion something something which could be seemed as far-fetched is seemed as perfectly okay. And then that same religion can point at a different religion and go, oh my gosh, that's crazy that you would do such a thing. And then a tarot reader can look at someone else's belief system and go, oh my gosh, how can you believe in that? And then they're doing some starseed shit or something, it's like... sometimes you have to wonder, the biggest fool is the person who's laughing at someone else, because what do they know, essentially? I think kind of that's what spirituality teaches us about, like, not judging, right? Not judging, only God can judge. Because the person who points the finger could well be the fool. So, pile number 2 is like I was trying to say before I went off on that beautiful ramble. To simplify this reading to the crux of it, right? To the foundations of this reading. Pay attention to the words you speak. So this might be for my writers out there, my poets, my journalists, my playwriters, storytellers, teachers, the list goes on. Spirit is kind of reminding you of the beauty of being precise in what you're writing or what you're almost scripting. I'm not sure what that means in spiritual terms, actually. Maybe something to do with... I'm not sure if scripting is just another word for like seeing, like being a seer. But be almost like, with this reading, to be honest, be slow if you need to be slow, Like, for someone else, they might have said, you could have just drew that really quickly, job done. But it wasn't that. There was meaning in it. There was precision in it. So it needed that patience, it needed that time. So I channeled that in the way that God wanted me to channel it. But like I said, we can be easily swayed when there's you, pile number 2, on the other end of this going, oh my gosh, wouldn't he hurry up just to do that little squiggle? No, the squiggle needed that for whatever reason. So Spirit wants you to have the same conviction in what you do. If it's what you're writing, what you're scripting, possibly even what you're drawing, give it the patience that it requires. And also understand the power that it holds. Spirit's kind of bringing that as well. So there's that emphasis of, like I said, the circle is initially to focus. So you focus your time on that thing. But also Spirit is reminding us that, this is obviously just for some of you. I'm not going to bullshit everyone who's watching this, but some of us are destined for different types of longevity. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Pile number 2 is there's some of us who the messages that we write, we can feel it in our soul that they're long-term messages of wisdom. If it's art, they're long-term, timeless pieces of art. And when you're, if you like, gifted in that way, Spirit is reminding you that you're in that group of timeless people. So be very considerate of that. Think about what your message is going to hold 100 years from now, 200 years from now. Think about how that could be, there was some poor bastard out there who turned Christianity into a religion, and probably meant the best intentions with setting that religion out, but that person was unknown to know what the future of that religion might be, or how people might have used that religion in a different way. So here you've got an opportunity, pile number 2, is to be cautious of that. And know, just to end the reading, pile 2, just know that whatever you're putting out there, if you're a content creator, or if you're just a mother or a father, and you're teaching your child the ways of the world, know that no matter how you convey yourself, there's always room for misunderstandings. So don't get paranoid here about trying to be perfect, but Spirit is kind of just giving you that secret bit of wisdom that you are one of those people who carry weight. And like I said, it might be the words that you speak that go on for hundreds or thousands of hundred thousands of years. Or it may be that you're just a good parent, a good brother to someone, a good sister to someone, a good friend to someone. And that energy continues on for way longer than you think. Like a good example would be, if you've ever had any grandparents, and then they speak about someone, your great grandmother, you never met her, but she was a really great person. She taught me X, Y, and Z. Those moments, they really do pass down. You'll be surprised. So pile number 2, that's your message. If you liked it, please do remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And when I say comment, guys, I mean get up in the comments. Stop hiding yourselves. Show some love. I know this isn't really one of those communities where we need to be up in people's faces, but start showing yourselves, because I appreciate that. I'm curious as well to know some of the people who I'm listening to. Sometimes I get a comment from someone new and I'm like, it's like you don't even know someone's there, but they clearly are, So reveal yourselves, magnify yourself, Part number 2 is write a comment, give a wave. And obviously check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com. I'll see you in the next one, parties. Take care. Okay, part number 3 is... Let's see what we got for you today. Secret. What do you see? What do you feel? What do you hear apart from the barking dog? And remember, I've said it before in other readings, when you do hear alerts, when you do hear dogs barking and stuff, pay attention to the tone. Pay attention to the energy of that bark. Because what I've come to realise is that energies, obviously, I think this is basic knowledge, but it depends who you're talking to. But animals obviously pick up on energies, and animals also, energies get used through them. So sometimes when a dog's barking, when a siren is going off like that, it's not always, what's the word? It's not always conscious, you know? Not to make it too dark, but like it's almost like they can get possessed for a little bit and then they tap back into themselves. You know, they get like, that energy just goes through them. They get used, basically. The vessel gets used. And you just want to pay attention to, you know, if you're kind of sensitive or psychic or whatever I am, if you feel like you relate to that energy, like you're similar, or just sensitive to energies, if I didn't say that already, pay attention to how you feel that energy is coming through, because I've begun to master how that energy is coming through. I can feel if it's like a darker energy, like a distraction. I can feel like, I know when it's like a confirmation just through the dog barking. I can feel when it's like an irritation. I can feel when it's like a, what's the word? Like, like a reminder of something. There's a certain energy, like a reminder of, it's different to a confirmation, like, because a reminder can be like when it's like when the sound waves go through the air, you can kind of feel like it kind of triggers a certain memory of something. So again, like some of you, I might have lost you there, but some of you might be able to understand this, and some of you might just not have worked on this ability yet, because for me, for example, I never used to be able to do this. When a dog barked, it was just a dog barking, so I did have to work on that muscle. If you asked me this when I was 16, I would be speaking to myself now thinking, you know, you lost your marbles. But, you know, it's because my 16-year-old self actually, funnily enough, had these skills, but I blocked myself off from using them. Because obviously society, you know, doesn't generally, depending on what society you're in or community you're in, it doesn't welcome that. So it's very easy to numb those skills and work on other skills, like skills that's going to help you get a job and get a mortgage for a house and buy stuff. My God, does society love that? consume some shit. Get some skills that are gonna help you buy and consume some shit. Fuck finding out who the fuck you are. Part number 3 is, what's very beautiful about this reading is it reminded me a little bit of an eyelash. But why I find it very beautiful is that little introduction I've given you is really to do with your reading itself. Because with this eyelash, or you could maybe see it as grass, if you like, some form of vegetation or nature. But with the eyelash, there's a sensitivity to the eyelash. You know, when you feel like you've got that little droplet on your eyelash, there's a sensitivity there, or even possibly the hairs on your skin. You know, I'm not particularly a hairy person, to be honest, but, you know, kind of to imagine, again, I think the droplet of water is quite a good analogy, like a droplet of water laying or sitting just on the surface of one of these hairs. There's a sensitivity there. And I think spirit is kind of reminding you of that secret that you have, that secret sensitivity, the ability to perceive things differently from your average person, the ability to basically, you know, that explanation I just gave you at the introduction of something as simple as a dog barking. I tell you why this is important, part number 3, is it's because this matrix we're in, you know, like almost the moral of this story, and take this for how you want to perceive it. The complexity or the genius of this matrix is that it makes you focus on the things that aren't necessarily important, and it makes you blind to the things that you should be focusing on. And, you know, we've got that siren there again, just for like confirmation. I'm not sure if the mic is even picking up on it, but there's just such a gentleness of that siren, which was almost fading into the distance. And it's kind of like the energy was confirmation, but it's almost like sometimes the Matrix be hitting back. It's a little bit like the movie The Matrix, right? It's like the more you become awake, the more it sometimes has to like retreat. It retreats from you because it, you know, it's like knowing you the one, like, and that goes for all of us, have the potential to be that one. It's like when the Matrix understands that you're onto it, it has to retreat, and it sometimes comes back stronger, you know, like Mr. Agent Smith comes back with more agents because you're getting stronger now. So that's the kind of the beauty, wizardry, genius of this matrix, is that it puts the perfect trap for you to be distracted by things that don't even matter. And then something as simple as a dog barking. Just think about how many people you know, part number 3s, who don't pay attention to the synchronicity of a dog barking. It's the high majority of people. Even intelligent people may struggle to think, okay, synchronicity is one thing, isn't it? It's like someone who's high into their logical thinking and not their, what could you call it? Like their spiritual thinking. you may be able to speak on these things as coincidences and synchronicities. So a logical person will see a synchronicity as a coincidence. So you can get them into the conversation, but as soon as you start saying something like a dog barking is actually to do with vibrational reactions to things and vibrational anomalies, it's a hard discussion to have with someone who's not built up that muscle. And that one lesson can teach you a lot, because that dog barking, when you're able to understand that with the dog barking, you're able to understand many other things better too. You're able to understand the vibration of architecture, the vibration of people, obviously, it's a huge one. The vibration of other animals, the vibration of trees. When you're unable to understand, that tree has got an energy about it. It's that same thing. It's that same thing. It's just sometimes there's a really big clue for that underneath our nose. But because it's a mundane thing, like a dog barking, the matrix is like, got your bitch. You ain't ever gonna see that right under your nose, but you ain't ever gonna see that. It's too obvious. That's the genius of the matrix. It's like something just right there. I'm looking outside my window at the moment, and there's a tree. I've got a beautiful view, which I'm grateful for. And there's this tree, and it's like, Spirit was just saying it's the same for like a leaf. And I don't even know how to give you the example of this pile freeze, but it's like that leaf is like the whole story of life is in that leaf too. How it's just part of that tree, blowing in the wind, absorbing the sunlight, growing, living life. Some days it's going to rain, some days it's going to shine. It's a leaf on that damn tree. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like there's some heavy wisdom in that, but someone else might be listening to this going, no, that's not that deep. It's a leaf on a tree. Like, it's a leaf on a tree, mate. Get over it. But no, it really is that deep. And that's what I'm trying to say for you, Palfrey. That's your secret, is understanding that sensitivity that you've got to understand things in a deeper way, in a higher vibrational way, is just one of the biggest gifts that you can get, because you're understanding the world in a way which is way more beautiful and way more true to the majority. So that's your reading, pile number 3. If you enjoyed it, please do remember to like, comment and subscribe. I told pile number 2s as well, please do remember to comment. It's always great to hear your perspectives on things, get to know the people who are watching these videos. And if not, just, comment to support, comment to say, I see you, I appreciate your videos. And yeah, check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com. In the meantime, I'll see you in the next video, pile number 3. It's a pleasure as always. Take care.